Hello and welcome to StudyIQ English. Another topic comes which talks about the classic old debate between protecting environment on the one hand and infrastructural growth on another. Yes, we are looking at UPSC GS paper 3 as we talk about the unique ecosystem near the Dhanushkodi, that is in the Rameshwaram Taluk. We are looking at the broader Gulf of Mannar area and how today the establishment of a 50 megawatt project, a 50 megawatt wind farm being constructed in the area may be presenting a threat to the local biodiversity, especially to the big Greater Flamingo Sanctuary that is situated in the area, apart from many other fishing areas, turtle breeding grounds. So a lot of local activists and environmental experts have raised a concern saying that this new project, this new wind farm in the Dhanushkodi area may not be feasible given the fact that this is a very sensitive ecological terrain. Yes, we are looking at a coastal regulation zone, an idea that was initiated in India under the Environment Protection Act 1986. And what is the purpose? The purpose of the coastal regulation zone is to safeguard India's coastal ecosystems on the one hand and to promote sustainable development on the other. It is under the Section 3 of the Environmental Protection Act 1986 that the coastal regulation zones were notified for the first time in 1991. And today we create a kind of coastal regulation zone into various categories, starting from 1 to the CRZ4. It all tries to balance environment conservation alongside commercial activities such as fishing, infrastructure, as well as tourism. And now coming back to the area on your screen. Yes, the biodiverse area of Gulf of Mannar. We are looking at the Greater Flamingo Sanctuary here. So there are concerns right now that are being raised by the local communities as well as environmental specialists that the new powerful 50 megawatts wind farm in Dhanushkodi could perhaps endanger the fish breeding and turtle nesting grounds of the area, but majorly one of the very special Great Flamingo Sanctuary here. The complaint has come by local residents also as well as other people also who say that flamingos that often are found exclusively in this area will find it difficult to live peacefully, to survive and to breed properly if the farm is created, the wind farm. As well as there are many birds, migratory birds, who also visit this place from December to March. What about them? It may also impact their migration patterns. Why is all the controversy happening? Because under the National Institute of Wind Energy, which works under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, there has been a proposal to create a project for 4 wind turbines and a jetty. This and various other equipments to be established here for research and development. Now, Dhanushkodi is unfortunately or fortunately today coming under controversy because it is classified as a coastal regulation zone CRZ category. Categories 1B, 2 and categories 4A. All listed under the larger Environmental Protection Act 1986 of India. So all these are identified as sensitive ecosystems, coastal ecosystems. And therefore, if we create a wind energy research institute here, if we start creating an experimental wind farm in this area, then what happens? It could create a complete imbalance in the local ecosystem because this area is identified as a test location for offshore wind energy research under 2015 Offshore Wind Energy Policy. But at the same time, it is also a coastal regulation zone. So the conflict is very clear. The classical ethical debate, the classical environmental debate between protecting the ecosystem and biodiversity and allowing some kind of infrastructure or any developmental project. So what are the recommendations? Well, a lot of policy experts are saying that Let's try to understand that this area is very, very ecologically delicate. So we need a proper EIA to be done, Environmental Impact Assessment. Now on that note, I also remember just few weeks before, the Supreme Court of India had said that from now onwards, no infrastructure project in India will be allowed to take a post facto environmental clearance. That means it cannot, in a back date, get or be given any license. It has to take the license prior to its development, and that created again a controversy. And very recently, under the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, there are 4 areas in India that have been identified as very, very threatened. They are areas of biodiversity, and today they are experiencing concerns. Which areas were those? I can give you a quick hint. One of them was the Western Ghats, but which are the other 3? You can let me know in the comment box. And now looking at what the experts say, yes, the experts are demanding a proper environmental impact assessment. The experts are saying this assessment should also monitor grass beds, sea grass beds, coral reef, seahorse population, underwater noise level to protect delicate marine flora and fauna. At the same time, environmentalists are also saying we should consider the coastal regulation zone clearance also before any such project is given a green permit, any such project is given approval. And that's again very important. Now talking about coral reefs, very recently in the news we spoke about how UAE is trying to create artificial coral reefs. We also had another news about coral reefs where we discussed coral bleaching. All happening because corals are now experiencing too much global warming, and therefore algae and coral are separating, creating the impact of coral bleaching. Similarly, we also spoke about how the practice of bottom trawling using mechanized trawler, especially in the area between Sri Lanka and India, especially in the area of the Kachativu Island, we spoke about this controversy again, that how these fishing practices are impacting our coral reefs. Now coming back to the Dhanushkodi area, what is the response of the government? The government says we understand that it is a delicate region and therefore it is the District Coastal Management Authority which has said that yes, we will have a detailed environmental impact assessment covering all the aspects, all potential implications of this project. Plus, the project will not be placed for technical appraisal until all necessary inputs have been collected from the local authorities, and before giving a permission, a clean chit or a clearance to the project, we will also make sure that we take some permission from Tamil Nadu Maritime Board. So various protocols will be taken care of. That's the promise coming from the government. And now if you look at the Great Flamingo Sanctuary, this area is famous for that. Then the Great Flamingo Sanctuary in Dhanushkodi is in the Ramanathapuram district of Tamil Nadu. And it is situated within the ecologically sensitive Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve, something you just saw in the map. Let's remember, the area is home to a variety of ecosystem. It is a biodiversity hotspot, mangroves, sand dunes. Recently, we had spoken about 2 other mangroves also, the Sundarban and the Bhitarkanika in Odisha. Today, we are looking at Gulf of Mannar, various mud flats and marshes. It is also a critical stop point for various migratory Central Asian birds. Thousands of them migrate to the wetlands in the Gulf of Mannar, and at the same time the region supports 128 bird species including both the greater and the lesser flamingos. Yes, it provides a hotbed for marine life, fish and various other kind of marine animals including sea turtles are also found here. So yes, it's a very prolific biodiversity spot. And now looking at Greater Flamingo, it is a species that is the large wading bird known for its distinctive pink feathers and unique feeding habits. We can see the image here. Yes, they look very, very beautiful birds from outside, and yet it is very difficult to give them a safe and a very maintained ecosystem. That's why today people are complaining about the impact on the Great Flamingo Sanctuary. It is usually found in Africa, West Asia, Southern Europe. Looking at the habitat, typically it's found in shallow, saline, alkaline wetlands like salt lakes, coastal lagoons, mud flats, or various kind of salt works during the breeding season. And if you look at the conservation status under the Wildlife Protection Act of India, it comes under Schedule 2, which means although it is a protected species, but slightly lesser protection is given as compared to those species that are a part of Schedule 1. Looking at IUCN, it is of least concern. That's a good thing actually, but yes, still the government is quite cautious this time when it comes to the new proposed project. And now looking at the question, consider the following statements regarding proposed 50 megawatt wind farm at Dhanushkodi, Tamil Nadu. 1. The project is proposed by National Institute of Wind Energy under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy as a part of offshore wind energy research. Second, the site falls under coastal regulation zone categories 1B, 2 and 4A, and it overlaps with sensitive areas like fish breeding, turtle nesting, wetlands, often visited by migratory birds and flamingos. And then environmental impact assessment is recommended to evaluate the impact on seagrass bed, coastal reef, marine biodiversity before any clearance can be given to this project. So let me know which of these is the valid answer in the comment box. Also, if you have any perspective regarding this issue, if you want to talk about any other development project in India that is creating an equal amount of environmental concern, then do let us know. Feel free to share your ideas. And for those who are preparing for UPSC Prelims exam 2026, the countdown is already in place now. So this could be a great opportunity because this is the crash course where we rigorously train you for succeeding in the prelims, the SIP initiative. The sale is ending on 15th November, so you do have 2 days to think about it because it's a lucrative offer at a price of 4,999 only. You get complete prelims preparation including GS1 and CSAT. Thorough practice, class notes, discussions, MCQs, PYQs, time management, timetable, all of that included. So enroll for the course today before it's over on 15th. And for that, you can use code SPLIVE, SP live on your screen. Similarly, if you are writing the exam in 2027, then please do remember at a price of only 18,999, we give you all GS courses plus prelims preparation as well as one optional of your choice at heavy discount price. Use the code SPLIVE for the same. Sale ends on 15. And for those who are studying for 2028 UPSC, yes, you can also take benefit of the Learners' Day sale by getting all GS courses at a price of only 32,999 in all mediums, English, Hindi, in English. All timings of batches, including weekend batches for working professionals. And how can you enroll? Here's code SPLIVE. So do let us know. And if you want to hear back from us, then here in the comment box, you have a form. Do fill up that form in the description box of the video and we will get back to you. So thank you.